building yourself financially is actually uber important. This is not going to be a conversation about getting to your next milli. This is not going to be a conversation about building that big program. This is absolutely going to be an important conversation between me and you about being responsible and upping your game. I'm going to give you about 8 money habits that I want you to adopt immediately and to put in place now so that you can start to win more tomorrow.
Hey you, welcome to Build the Damn Thing, a place where myself, Tiffany Largy, and our amazing Do the Damn Thing coaches show you how to use your story to build it all. Whether it's your first 6 figures, your next layer of multiple 6 figures, or maybe you're on your way to $1 million. And if it's not that, it's the life of your dreams, where you are free, you are strong, and you are whole. First, we're going to show you how to use your story to build a strong foundation. And then next, we're going to show you how to use your story in sales and marketing to clean up the crots. And last but not least, we're going to show you how to use your story to gather people. Because truth of the matter is that there's nothing stronger than being connected to people who just understand you as you are, where you are, so you can stop explaining yourself. I want to remind you that now that you're here, you are home, and I officially welcome you to our family. All right, let's get started.
I'm going to say this. I want you to, I'm going to break this down really fast because I don't want this to be all over the place. And my goal is that this is something that you can implement and build today. For years on end, I ignored my finances, but I don't want to say I ignored my finances like I was just all over the place, but I'm so busy making money, I really don't have time to track and figure out where it is. This is no different than the person who has a 9-to-5 job. This is no different than ... But what I did know was that I had an opportunity to live my absolute best life if I was willing to hunker down and be clear that I needed to get in front of the impossible. Getting in front of your finances is important. Not ignoring them is 911, but I'm going to show you just how to get stronger. A couple of simple things that I want to challenge you. I want to ask you, are you doing these things today? Have you considered them? And are you ready to get financially strong? Number 1, you got to look at your bank account. You have to look at your bank account. You need to look at your bank account. I was with a client who's doing probably a little over $600,000, maybe $700,000 in revenue. And I was with her a couple of days ago, actually, as I flew into her space. And she said to me, you know what? And I said, what? And she's like, I haven't looked at my bank account in a long time. I'm like, what's a long time? She's like, couple of years. Couple of what? Couple of years. Woman, what are you talking about? Now, I don't want you to think that you're listening to Tiffany Largy, the super uber organized person who's constantly looking at the details and looking at all these spreadsheets, because that is not me, because that stuff makes me want to run for the hills and straight into a wall. But I am going to tell you that the simple practice of building the muscle, and that's what we're going to do through this episode. We're going to build the muscle of looking at the things that are ugly, looking at the things that make us uncomfortable. Well, Tiffany, I already know what my bank account says. I already know that I'm not making any money. That's okay. It's actually okay. I already know that I'm behind. I already know that I'm in the red. Yes, but the truth of the matter is that you cannot grow or change anything you are not tracking or managing. And if you're ignoring it, you are no way, shape, form, figure going to be able to get to the solution. It has to stare you in the face. It's got to like slap you in the face, and you got to see it, and you got to be like, holy mother of Johnson, what is happening right now? Pulling your bank statement and just reading the damn thing is like probably first. The second, or actually that is paired with reading the last 1 to 3 statements. I love to print 3 at a time. It makes life super easy because then I can see, is this something reoccurring? Am I, and you know what I'm going to do with that bank statement? I'm going to look at it, take a big highlighter and go, why the hell am I paying for this? Why am I paying for this? Why am I paying for this? Why am I paying for this? You need to have an answer. Now, the answer is like, oh, but Tiffany, I have to have Netflix because Netflix is so important to my life and blah, 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 blah. I want you to know something right now. I don't have Netflix. I also don't have Paramount. I don't have HBO. I don't pay for Hulu. We do not pay for cable at my house. We don't pay for any of it at my house. And it is not because I can't afford it. It's because it is dumb. There is no need for me at this season and this point, especially me knowing where I am in life right now. I'm in a building mode. like hell do I have time to go and watch a movie? And if I do, thank God for YouTube and thank God for all the free things on the internet via my computer that in theory we can click, click, click and connect to a TV. But the truth of the matter is between me and you is I've got bigger fish to fry than to spend 2, 3 hours watching a video and watching a movie, watching TV. Now, you might say, Tiffany, that's my downtime. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you have your finances and your world behind you on fire and you are at a 911 mode, like baby cakes, you don't have free time. I am so sorry to say that. It is a delusional state to believe that you have free time. And if you're like, Tiffany, I got to take a mental break, I'm here for you on that. Let me tell you what I do to take a mental break before I get through the other 7. So, what I do to take a mental break is on Sundays, I cook. Now, it's not because I'm in love with cooking, even though I happen to be pretty good when I hang out in the kitchen, but it's because it allows me to do something else and to pour into someone else. Now, for me, that's my family, right? For you, it could be something totally different. It might just be calling your cousins up. Maybe it's not. Maybe on Sundays, you just sit with a cup of tea or a glass of wine and you spend hours just shooting the breeze with old friends. I love one of the reasons why I used to, or sometimes I still think I miss Miami is because back in the day, we used to just on Fridays or Sundays, we just walk outside and sit on the patio or like walk to someone's front yard and you'd be in a conversation for like 5, 6 hours. That's life. Eso es vida, you know? And it's something that I really, truly respect about life. And it's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Just being with people, no shoes on, drink in hand, yelling at kids behind me. Okay, let me get to number 2. So number 2 is that you need better apps on your phone. Even if you have an Android, you need better apps on your phone. And you need apps that help you save money. Some of the basic apps that help me save money are on our dtdttools.com page. And I'm not going to go into different apps. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you are like right before I came in to record this, I was talking to my daughter and because she's here at the studio and I don't know what she said to me. My response to her was like, oh, I have a gift card to Starbucks that I can give to you. And she was like, oh, really? Where'd you get it from? I'm like, oh, I got it from one of my apps. Now, what's crazy about this is that every time I buy gas, I get anywhere from 2 cents to probably 15 cents off per gallon. No, I'm lying to you. I don't get it off. I mean, like I get that money cash back. I hope I'm making sense. And it doesn't mean that I go and I click something every time. No, I set it up one time. Once I set it up one time, the card that is on file, I go to the gas station or someone goes to the gas station. I hand them that card. They go and they pay. And all I know is that I look up and I have $160 waiting for me to spend and I can get a gift card back. It sounds stupid, but you're leaving too much money on the table and things are way too damn expensive for you to not be using apps as part of your life. And if you ask me somewhere like, Tiffany, what are your favorite money saving apps? I will totally share them all with you for sure. You just have to ask. I will tell you this, like having an app that allows you to get cash back on gas is a must. Another one is letting you get cash back for receipts. It could be a receipt about anything. That is my favorite, more gift cards. The third thing I'm going to say is probably like cash back, like when you purchase things and just purchase in general. So that's it. That's number 2. Number 3. So number 3 is you have a really serious, like, you have too much stuff just laying around your house. Now, I know this is going to sound wild because I want you to be money savvy, but the simple place of like building is asking yourself questions, building a questionnaire. So like for me, there used to be a time where I would spend and not even think twice about it. And I'm not saying that I don't do the same because I do buy luxury things. I do buy things that I enjoy. However, I ask myself a series of questions. Number 1, what's the long-term play for this? Number 2, it's, is this going to serve me? Is it going to make me feel excited about waking up tomorrow better? Is it going to put me in a place of feeling thrilled about connecting with other people? Or is it going to help me reach my goal? If it doesn't meet one of those 3 criteria, chances are I'm not doing it. Fourth, so one of the other things that I said to myself is like self-awareness. So drinking can get out of hand really fast. And I know for you, your vice might be chocolate. It might be smoking, and I'm not here to knock. You might be doing weed. Like I'm in for all of it, and I'm happy for you. But my point is that like If you don't realize it and you have a habit, you become habitual of picking up something and putting it in your cart when you're shopping, then you make it a standard. I don't make luxury things a standard. And when I say luxury things, I mean something like alcohol. It is very rare, and I have to think about how I say this because it's rare for it to come to my house and find that I have bought a brand new bottle of Jack Daniels or a brand new bottle of whatever it might be. A lot of the liquor or wine that I have is someone who has given it to me. In addition to that, if I am going to buy, almost never going to buy alcohol without some form of a discount. I know it sounds weird, but this is not about me telling you to cut back or how you buy the thing, but I actually just don't pick it up and put it in my cart. Just like I don't pick up soda and put it in my cart. I don't pick up cookies and put it in my cart. I don't pick up any of the items that are not food that I am going to have to prepare that will take me time and cook it because I don't want to be trapped and paying for something that results in speed. If you slow down the things that you're doing and you take a moment to ask yourself, man, I really love chocolate chip cookies. Okay, great. Well, then learn how to make it. I know it sounds crazy, but you buy that box. Think about it like this with me. You buy this box for $4.99. Chances are it's like Nabisco, right? It's not really that good for you. It has 2 million ingredients in it. And you think to yourself, okay, great. I'm in a great shape. I've got this thing wrapped up. I'm going to spend $4 or $5. But the truth is that I built habits where I never pick up cookies. And if I really want cookies in the house, I'm going to take the time to make them. Now, there's two principles inside of this, why this is important, because it's about self-awareness. Most people don't have enough money in their bank account because of the fact that they are just unaware of what they're doing in their habits. That is the truth. And I am not the financial guru. I am not the smartest kid on the block. I am just a person who has had their ass handed to them financially so many times that I've had to quickly go and button it up. Making it harder for me to spend money or to go through the money that has been spent is what allows me to make sure that the $7 or $7,000 or $70,000 lasts longer. Because I don't run through the cash, I let it be. I ask myself questions and then I make it harder for me to get to the end. I hope this makes sense. So the truth is that for $5, I could make 6 batches of cookies. And they will last the same week because you and I are going to get home and get the chocolate chip cookies and shove them in my mouth anyways. Now, here's the exception, Oreos. I still don't know how the hell you make Oreos, and I don't think anybody does. And so that might be the one exception to this rule that we may always have to pay for. But outside of that, do not be fooled. Stop letting your cash and giving it to other people and other things. Now, I say this also saying to you, I am happy to spend. Like, I am not a cheap person. Like, I spend money always where the value is. But for me, like, if we're having really hard times, let's say in our company, and you might be having hard times in your company, in your business, or whatever you're building right now, I'd rather put it as much in the weirdest ways that I can in the hands of the people than to give money in like interest to Stripe or more fees to such and such and such. Does that make sense? Like, it's just think about where the dollar is going. But Tiffany is only $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. Do you know what you could do with $3,600 a year? You could take your ass to Bali. You could take your ass to Thailand. You could take your ass to Africa. You probably could get to Africa. I don't know if we can get to Africa from the US. We might have to stop in the middle of the water on the way to Africa for $3,600. But you could definitely get to Puerto Rico and Jamaica with $3,600. Let me tell you something. In some of these countries, you could actually be a whole king and queen in these countries for $3,600. You playing a lot of games. The truth of the matter is that the person who's holding on to more cash is actually winning in the street, not the person who is spending more cash. Things else that I don't do. So here's the next. So I told you I was going to give you 8. I hope I'm going to get to 8. I'm going to talk real fast to get through the next 6. So there's periods of times where I just don't use cards. I use cash. Especially if I'm going to go somewhere down and dirty where I know, like Vegas is hard to find me with a card on me because I want to sit at the table. You get it? But if I run out of $500, the first thing I'm going to do is, hey, give me $100, right? Now I can only do that so many times before I look pretty awkward. Now, for you, this might be something else. You pay for everything with cash, with card. And so therefore you're totally disconnected from from money and what is happening and how to use it and how it works in your money. The fastest way for you to get your money game together and to build a healthy life with money is to have cash in your hands so that you respect it more. It's so different when you take $20, you give it to someone to pay for something and they only give you $3 left. It is very easy to just keep swiping and swiping and PayPaling and tapping and Venmoing. I don't have Venmo. I don't have Cash App. I do have Zelle on a business account because this year I had to use it, but I'll be uninstalling that too. I don't really use Zelle very much. I don't use Apple Pay, even though I do think I have Apple Pay. And my reason for telling you that is because I like to force myself to be in one money lane. It's easier on me emotionally and mentally. I don't have these things. It's not that I don't use them. I do not have them. PayPal is not on my phone. I cannot PayPal someone the money. That does not happen either. We do have a business PayPal account. I don't think I have a personal PayPal account. Why does this stuff matter? Is because we want to get stronger and we're trying to become disciplined, and it'll never happen. What will happen is you setting up rules for yourself, not beating yourself up over being disciplined. All right, next. Cut the damn coupons. There's a period of time, I don't think anybody knows this, but I'm going to share this with you because you talk about building the damn thing. This whole episode is about building yourself financially real fast, real quick. And I want to challenge you to ask yourself, why not? So there's a period of time where I leave Miami, Florida. I'm on my way, and I got like 2 minutes ahead for you guys because I'm going to talk so fast, but I'm living in Miami, Florida, and I moved to Tampa. I believe that I'm going to be sailing in through the door with Xerox as a manufacturer, only to find out that they're like, you're not worthy at this moment. And all the breaks that I didn't want to have happen happened. I burned all the bridges behind me. I was so SOL. It was so bad. I'm like, what am I going to do for money? Now, you may have heard in another episode where I talked about that's how I learned to sell on Amazon because I had to produce money. These kids needed things and I had bills to pay. So I learned very quickly how to sell on Amazon. I did not do drop shipping. I did not find something on Alibaba. I stole shit from around my house and I put it online. And I was like, I don't even like this book anyways. Here you go. I never liked this vase anyways. Here you go. Now, fast forward why this is important because the other thing that I learned to do was couponing. This sounds crazy, but coupons are probably one of the most overlooked areas and ways to save money. So like sometimes I'll be at the mall with my daughter. And this is sparingly because I don't really go to the mall, but there's been quite a few times, especially in the last 3 years. I'm standing inside of the mall and my daughter goes, Mom, can we go in Claire's? And I'm like, oh, I hate this place, but I'm going to go in Claire's anyways, because that's what moms do. So I walk inside and before I know it, it's, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? Now you might be tempted to just go and swipe the damn thing, but I'm not going to go swipe the damn thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my phone and go, hey Siri, what kind of coupons does Claire's have out right now? I pull up my phone and before I know it, something awesome happens. I am told that I have 20% off, 30% off. I actually almost always shop wherever there is a coupon available, where there's a discount happening. And it's like a principle that I have. Now, what I was going to tell you about this time in Tampa, stay with me, is I learned how to coupon. I went to this church. I didn't even really like the church, but I went to the church and there was this one woman, she couponed. She taught me the name of the game and I took it to another level. And I, back in the day, was an extreme couponer. Now, why this is important is because I learned how to get my groceries, my $300 worth of groceries for $12.58. Now, I don't live my life today like this, but I am here to tell you that I, on average, save somewhere between 10 and 30% on almost everything that I buy, at least 60% of what I buy, if not 70. Why this is important is because it's so hard to get that dollar. It's so hard to get the dollar. Like, I don't think we get it. It's hard to get the fucking dollar. Like, it is. It is hard. We are doing work. We are missing time with our families. We are sweating. We are pacing the floor. We've got to stretch mentally and emotionally. It is hard to get the dollar. And for the person who has $10 million in the bank right now, it is still hard for them to get the dollar. It's not always easy. And so I want you to build a respect. For me, this couponing thing became a way of life. Today, I take my principles. I take about 25 minutes every week. Now it's spread out because I can't do it at once, but I explore the world and see what coupons are available and around for things that we need to purchase. Now, the truth is that if I don't have a personal assistant right now, but when I have a personal assistant, he will have to do the same exact thing. And why? Because it's not really just about saving money and cutting back on me having more money. It's about me respecting how hard it is for me to earn that dollar and for me to settle with the fact that I need to be more conscious on the resources that are available and to never allow myself to be disconnected from the need to be resourceful and the need to respect the whole dollar. If I can give you 70 cents versus the dollar, that I need to be a good steward. But it's not because I need to keep it. Because the truth is that if you really follow me, I let go of every dollar I have. It's either in a business, it's in a team member, it's in a thing like, and it's not in stocks and it's not in buying a new house. It's actually in experiences to help people to do things. Because when I die, all this money's going to be right here. And the legacy, I don't need to leave a legacy for my kids and give them 4 houses. I need to show their asses how to dream. I need to show them how to love people and how to care and how to fight for people. So no, I am not wrapping up every dollar I have in investments just so that we're clear and transparent where this heart's coming from. Because I have watched so many people. I mean, my grandmother owned tons of houses. And you know what happened? She worked all of that time, had all of the houses. And at the end of the day, she enjoyed zero of what she could. She left a legacy for a family that still doesn't talk to each other, that's still such and such. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about what I'm saying. It didn't transform our lives. Now, she had taken the same effort and in investing and put it into, and again, I'm not talking bad about my grandmother because I am her and she is everything. But the truth, the reality of life is that if I had taken that time and poured it into, we'd be in a totally different space. So I hope this has served you. I'm going to come back with the other 3, and I just want you to love me for the 5 that I gave you. Bye.
I hope that episode was amazing for you and you are closer to building the damn thing. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts were, what part you loved, and the action that you're going to go take, because the truth of the matter is that the person who wins is not the person who gets there first. It's the person who takes action first. Now, I've got a gift for you, and it is at www.strappedhustle.com. It is imperative that you run there and you see all types of goodies, starting with the 7 must-haves that you've got to put when telling your story. There is so much deliciousness awaiting for you. I would love nothing more than for you to go ahead and give us a thumbs up and a 5-star review on not just this episode, but this entire series of how do you build the damn thing. Like always, if there's anything that we can do to make your week, day, or month better, please let us know. And more importantly, I can't wait to see you live. Whether it's at Do the Damn Thing Live or in one of our communities, or maybe you're just hanging out with us on social media. What I know to be true is that I am meant to connect with you somewhere, and I can't wait for that day to happen. And more importantly, I can't wait to see what you build.